The biggest game is on today. The whole town's got a part to play. But the hard work you do makes a kid's dream come true. And there's something big waiting for you. For you. Cookies is the biggest taste you've ever found. Cookies is the one that never lets you down. Cookies is the most refreshing taste around. Cookies is. Cookies is.
Come on, the game's gonna start.
Hey, all good things take time, huh?
Ever notice how when you really need a flashlight, you can never find one?
What happened to the lights?
Nobody move. I'll get a flashlight.
Or when you do find one,
Here it is.
it almost never works. So Black & Decker invented the Spotlighter, the rechargeable light. The Spotlighter stores in its recharger, so it's always bright, always easy to find, always fully charged. The Spotlighter from Black & Decker.
When it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock shop, you can shop around the clock all night. AM PM has a treat for you. Keto burritos that are all brand new. Tangy pizza, barbecue beef, and 4 other kinds chock full of meat. You can shop around the clock all day and night. Besides fajito burritos, AM PM Mini Markets has a thirsty 2-ouncer. 32 ounces of Pepsi for just 39 cents. You can shop around the clock all day and night.
McDonald's and you.
Here's some morning news. It's time for change at McDonald's with 2 new meals for under $1. Now get fresh scrambled eggs with a toasted English muffin for just 79 cents.
Good meal.
Or 3 golden hotcakes with butter and syrup for just 69 cents.
Good deal.
Together
2 new meals, 2 great deals.
for breakfast.
It's time for change at McDonald's.
McDonald's and you.
This is new. Your salad dressing. It has a certain spice to it. She's right. It's new village spice from Hidden Valley Ranch. Spices and... Shh. It's a unique blend of spices, garlic, and cheese. Could be delicious. You just add milk and mayonnaise for a spicy new taste. Well, am I right? That's my secret. Oh!
Village Spice, the spicy new secret from Hidden Valley Ranch. Shh.
If this can of gas gave the mileage of 5 regular cans, you'd buy it, wouldn't you? If this tire lasted as long as 5 regular tires, you'd buy it. Well, there is a battery that can last as long as 5 regular batteries. Duracell. Tests prove 1 Duracell can last as long as 5 regular carbon batteries. So why buy 5 when you can buy 1? Duracell. No regular battery looks like it or lasts like it.
No diet in the world will help you lose weight until you do one thing: control your appetite.
I had a huge appetite, but Dexatrim curbed my hunger, and I lost weight.
The extra-strength Dexatrim diet plan, the strongest appetite control formula you can buy without prescription. Dexatrim helps you eat less and lose weight.
I used to nibble between meals, but Dexatrim helped me eat sensibly and lose weight.
Extra-strength Dexatrim. No appetite control capsule works harder to help you lose weight.
You know you'll get the job done right. We take pride in what we do, 'cause we care about the work we do for you. Trust the Midas touch. Trust the Midas touch.
Your Southern California Midas shops have a great price on brakes. We install new brake shoes or disc pads, turn the drums or rotors, check the hydraulic system, add fluid if necessary, and road test your car, all for just $59.90 per axle. Call for complete details.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, starring Walter Pidgeon, will return after these messages.
You've got the look. Oh, you've got the look. You've got the look.
You got the look. The look. I want to know better.
You got the look.
You got the look.
The look.
That's all together.
You got the look.
Jordache has the fit that's right. Jordache has the fit that's right.
You've got the look. You've got the look. You've got the look. You've got the look.
Be the look, the wine that celebrates food.
The groom's a personal friend, so the meal demanded all my skill as a chef. The food had to be perfect. So did the wine. I chose Inglenook. Some wines just go with food. Inglenook celebrates.
It's the spirit of have a special day with something special to say.
Here's to years of Happy Meal.
The wine that celebrates food.
Low prices on top quality produce.
Number 5 of 21 ways to
Save more than a buck a bag of us.
KTLA, Channel 5, Los Angeles.
When I work hard, I play hard. I want a beer that won't slow me down.
Turn it loose tonight. Coors Light, turn it loose tonight. Don't hold back, turn it loose tonight. Coors Light. Beer when you're moving around. Coors Light is the one that won't slow you down. Coors Light. Turn it loose tonight. Turn it loose. Turn it loose.
The new Riva from Yamaha. With electric start, automatic transmission, and style. From the economical Riva 50 to the freeway legal Riva 180, it's transportation for people who are already there.
At this year's Geneva Auto Show, Volvo introduced the remarkable new 760 GLE. The Italians loved it. The Japanese liked it. Only the Germans seemed unimpressed. But when you consider that this new Volvo is more aerodynamic than their Porsche 928, quicker through a slalom than their Audi, and costs thousands less than their Mercedes, the German reaction isn't surprising.
Volvo, the car for all reasons. See your nearby Southern California Volvo dealer.
Hi, I'm Stuart Anderson. You know me for my quality restaurants. Most of you shop enough to know how expensive quality food really is. Considering everything it takes to prepare a dinner at home, think about this.
At Stuart Anderson's Black Angus restaurants, you get a complete U.S. choice steak dinner for only $6.95.
And you won't find a better value anywhere. And we'll do the dishes. You've got my name on it.
A major event at CNR, every suit on sale. A wide range of prices and selections. From the top-of-the-line designer suits in lightweight wool and wool blend, typically $295, now $200. Find wool and wool blend suits reduced to $150, save $50. For the graduate, California weight suits, including corduroys, $99.99. For a limited time only, every suit on sale in all 36 CNR stores.
Inside this bottle is a celebration of a healthy way of living. It's a Canada Dry salt-free celebration that refreshes your thirst. It's Canada Dry Seltzer, the virtually salt-free sparkling water that's right for you, because it's salt-free, sugar-free, and calorie-free. So don't just refresh yourself, celebrate. Aren't you ready for Canada Dry Seltzer?
When you're carefully counting calories, what would be an ideal snack? This big, juicy navel orange or this big, thick, satisfying, filling, rich-tasting, chocolatey Alba 77 shake? The navel orange or the Alba shake? One of them has only 70 little calories, and it's not the orange. What do you say?
Say Alba, Alba, Alba.
Now sweetened with NutraSweet for great taste without saccharin.
Mother taught grammar for 41 years.
I had very strict rules.
And I remember the first time Mother tried Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. I said, here, you'll love it. And Mother said, it's not proper to love food. You like food. Well, finally, Mother tasted Dreyer's Toasted Almond. And you know what?
I loved it. Well, some rules are meant to be broken.
She loved it.
For over 50 years, people haven't just eaten Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. They've loved it.
Got roaches in your kitchen? Take a holiday. Got fleas in your carpet? Take a holiday. The Holiday Indoor Fogger. No ordinary insecticide is as effective as Holiday's penetrating fog. Holiday goes everywhere at once, killing roaches, ants, and fleas in virtually every crack and crevice. So, when you got bugs, it's simple. Take a holiday.
Alan, you call this a date? To do your laundry?
But Pam, these clothes need serious help. Look, I brought a dry bleach.
You need Clorox 2 all fabric bleach.
Is it better?
Nothing's better for getting colors their cleanest.
Yeah, but check out this gravy stain.
Clorox 2 strong enough to get out that tough stain. No other dry bleach can beat it.
Oh.
You'll see.
To get colors their cleanest, nothing beats the strength of Clorox 2.
Beautiful. Trade you.
Concert tickets!
I need something to wear.
In 1896, Mr. S and Mr. W made a promise to make their canned foods the best all the time. They'd be happy today if they could taste S&W brick oven baked beans. Small, tender beans, slow simmered for hours in real brick ovens for that authentic old-fashioned flavor. So when we put our founder's initials on our brick oven baked beans, we can proudly say, Mr. S and Mr. W, we're keeping your promise.
Irving Wallace's The Word.
It will make all versions of the New Testament completely obsolete.
The Word. Someone doesn't want it to get out, and they'll stop at nothing. David Jansen. James Whitmore. A story of international intrigue and suspense. The Word. Its power cannot be denied.
The Word, Monday at 8, here on Channel 5. This is Larry Van Nuys inviting you to stay tuned for entertainment this week. Coming up next here on Channel 5.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back for some of you. That case is beyond sad that I was talking about, but we're going to try to have a little fun here because apparently Battery Betty has filed a lawsuit. And she really filed it. It's interesting because, okay, here's the thing is, now I try not to get involved in anything beyond just being in someone's chat and things of that nature. But, you know, you can't talk about Betty without talking about this. This is just not. You can't. Now, the interesting thing is, okay, the interesting thing is apparently she's filed 2 lawsuits against 2 creators. One of them being Queen Bee, the other one being Heels in the Air. And what I find funny is she's tried to dox Queen Bee, and I don't think she's got the right person. Now I don't think she's got the right person. I don't know, because I don't know who Queen Bee is or anything like that. But the interesting thing is, those of us with any common sense, I mean, you just enjoy your YouTube creators, man. You don't need to know who the fuck they are. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit who Queen Bee is. I don't give a shit about who any creator is who uses anonymity and applies anonymity because everyone has the right to anonymity. They have the right to be on camera, be off camera. They have the right to use their real name or a handle. They have every right to do whatever the fuck they want on here, as long as they're not lying on people and inciting harassment and doxing people. I mean, that's not, and trust me, doxing, in my opinion, doxing is definitely a form of harassment, in my opinion. You're a form of inciting harassment. That is not tolerated on this channel. If I see anybody doxing anybody, they're going to get hidden. It's just how that is. You know, this is the game, man. You know what I mean? We have a community here. Okay. And even though this particular subject is a little outside of my normal realm of what I like to do, this doesn't necessarily apply to crime cases. But I do pride myself on having a certain sense of community. And I don't like when people go real life on other people. That really, really, really bugs me. And filing a lawsuit, especially a frivolous one, such as what this one has to be, because I mean, well, you're a YouTube creator. You're subject to criticism. Barbie Ogden gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Sean, Murica, Kara, Amy, Tracy. Welcome. Congrats. I mean, I'm not, yeah. And what's funny is if this was happening to Betty, I'd be saying the same thing. If this was happening to JLR, I'd be saying the same thing. You know, funny thing about that though is it's always them doing it to somebody else. You know, so what's interesting about that is the things that and now I don't listen to Queen Bee enough to make a determination of whether or not the things that she said about Betty are true or not. I don't think that she actually reviews Betty's videos like I do, and like other creators like Toast does, like Headstones and Headlines does. I don't think that Queen Bee actually really spends a lot of time reviewing. She's more of an open panel creator and has people up there, and then they just discuss things. But I don't know what took place to where Betty thinks that she has grounds for a lawsuit, which I think is really funny. On top of that, let's talk about Heels in the Air. See, Heels in the Air makes videos. Now, I know she goes on Queen Bee's panel quite a bit, and maybe on her panel she may have said something that wasn't true or whatever, but I have the lawsuit here, okay? And we're going to go over it, and we're going to see what her claims actually are. But from what I've seen, as far as what Heels in the Air does, is she just makes videos using Betty's content, which is the same thing that I do, the same thing that Toast does, the same thing that I've seen Headstones and Headlines do. I haven't watched a lot of Headstones and Headlines, but I know that that's what they do as well. But I know that when I go over her stuff, it's her. You can't dispute. You can't call them lies when I'm showing Betty saying the things that I'm calling her out on saying. You can't call it slander when you're sharing documents. You know what I mean? I don't think that she thinks that Queen Bee and Heels are stalking her. I don't think that Betty believes that anybody's actually stalking her. I think that she just, maybe she has convinced herself of it in order, but that was the point I was going to get at, to justify her being a Karen and trying to control what people do with their YouTube channels. Very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. And let me see something real quick before I do that, because I know I'll just find the clips if I can. Okay. Let me just go over some of the videos, some of the clips, some of the clip channels. Like Cheesy Wheezy did one here. I haven't watched it yet. You guys know that I like to do reactions if I can. So I excuse me. I haven't actually watched some of these clip videos. So let's check this out real quick. This is from Cheesy Wheezy. Make sure to sub up the Cheesy Wheezy, because blessed are the clip channels, people. Exactly. One must acknowledge Tatted Tech's ability to control what people do with their channels. And make sure to subscribe to the Geek Room. And yes, I'll be deleting my channel after this. Thanks to Tatted Tech, because he controls everything that people do with their channels.
I am going to address, and then once I address them, we're not going to really address them again. As many of you know,
you suck.
I'm actively in a lawsuit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I want to make it very clear to my audience, this is a serious lawsuit. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not for a click or a view. I'm listening to people analyze this. I don't know how it got out. I'm not sure if people did a public records request, which it is public record. But what I can tell you is that while they're over there joking and thinking a judge is going to laugh this out of a courtroom, once she speaks to a real attorney, I'm pretty sure she's going to understand to the gravity of this lawsuit. And
I love how she's doing this. What is it? Pro se, which means that she's representing herself in court, and she's confident against any lawyer. I love that shit. To me, that's fucking great that she's that confident.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
And I think the people, other people are going to also have to.
Oh, wait. Calamity Jade, thank you so much. They are condensed content for our mental health and greater good channels. Blessed they are. Yes, I agree. Thank you so much, Calamity Jade.
Have to come to Jesus with how important and to the gravity of this lawsuit. Just because we think it's okay, or YouTube forces us to sue these people, doesn't make it any less illegal to do the kind of lawsuit. Just because you think it's okay, or YouTube forces us to sue these people, doesn't.
YouTube forces you to sue these? No, that's not what happens. Okay, let me break this down for about the 100th fucking time. All right, YouTube doesn't force anybody to sue anybody. YouTube covers their own ass. Okay, YouTube is a big believer in CYA. Cover your ass. Very, very simple, very, very easy. YouTube partners up with creators, and if it turns out that a creator is doing something that could get YouTube sued, well, then they're like, nope, get the fuck out of here. They don't want to be partnered up with shitty people. Okay. So what happens is YouTube will give you the option. It's not even that they give you the option. It's not up to them. It's not theirs. It's not their option to give. They just present you with the option. They say, well, okay, something is fair use. We determine that it's fair use. If you have a problem beyond this, beyond us finding that to be fair use, then you have the option to take that person to court. But the way we see it, it's fair use. They're not breaking any rules as far as we're concerned. That's what YouTube does. YouTube doesn't force you to sue anybody. What the fuck are you talking about?
Doesn't make it any less illegal to do the kind of conduct on here.
It absolutely
this thing that
does.
you can say, oh, well, this is just YouTube stuff.
No. It makes it not illegal at all.
I didn't subscribe to this YouTube stuff. When I signed that contract with YouTube,
she said, I don't subscribe to this YouTube stuff. You're on YouTube, asshole. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're entitled to shit.
Let them know. Let them know, Tony.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Thank you.
this is not what I subscribe to. This is not what was in my contract with them. So at the end of
it's exactly what is in your contract with them. It is verbatim what is in your contract with them. They are middlemen, nothing more. They are in a business partnership with you. Okay? Google pays you out every month on the 21st. Google pays you out because they take 30% of what you make on the platform. That's in a nutshell the whole lot of it. In a nutshell, the whole lot of it right there. They pay you 30%, or they take 30% of whatever you make on your channel. That's not including the PayPals and the Venmos and whatnot. That's not including that, but it's definitely what you make on YouTube. That means that you are in a business partnership with YouTube. That means that you don't get to tell YouTube how to run their shit. They say, hey, you want to make money? Come on in. We just take 30%. Simple. Real easy. Unfucking believable.
I'm retarded?
At the end of the day, if anybody thinks that this is not a legit lawsuit or this doesn't have merit, is a fool. And all those attachments to that lawsuit, that's the evidence that substantiates the claims. Those elements that you read in that lawsuit at the beginning, those are elements I must meet in order to
which is what we're going to go over.
Prove my claim. Those attachments to that lawsuit are that proof. This joke about how these are posts, that's libel. Her videos are slander.
Yo.
And those are things she's going to have
Cheesy Wheezy's killing me with the emojis, bro.
to address at some point. So I digress. It is a legal matter. I'm not going to be discussing legal matters here on YouTube, but what I can tell you is so far every legal analysis I've heard, this is why you don't listen to people that have no education, that have no
You mean like you?
understanding of the law.
You mean like you?
Looking like idiots, and they're making their case even more stronger for me.
You mean like you?
My suggestion is to get a real attorney and take this seriously.
That's
because
what
I'm telling you, for $150,000.
Either Betty doesn't have the money for a real attorney. I'm going to break this down real easy. Either Betty doesn't have the money for a real attorney, or she went and got counsel from an attorney, and that attorney was like, You got nothing. You got nothing. I can't help you. There's nothing you could do. But your option is to go pro se. You can file your case yourself. Best of luck with that. But
$1,000, you better be taking it very damn serious. Because even then, oh, it's only $50,000. No, honey, you got 3 claims against you for $50,000 apiece. You better wake up and realize how serious this is.
Oh my God.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
And if you think that your countersuit, something I said in March after a year of you beating me over the head, you think that's okay? Okay.
Beating
the judge
me
will laugh me out of the
over
courtroom.
the head.
Good luck.
What?
Good luck. To all the Google attorneys out there, we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see at the end of the day. But one other thing I do want to point out is once this goes through, I want everybody to realize that this lawsuit with Crude was never a joke. And he lied to his audience. He lied to each and every one of you.
No, he didn't.
I'm not a frivolous lawsuit suer. Never have been and never will be.
Except you are. Because I mean, we're gonna go over, like I said, we're gonna go over the lawsuit. But you know, I mean, Betty, you're
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Every case that I have brought has had merit. I've had standing. And I hate to break the news to you. The majority of my...
No, you don't. She did. Totally. She totally did. Oh my God, bro. Like, so Tatted, Billy just made this, he made this really excellent point, that the condition is that she's not allowed to talk about that lawsuit. She just did. She's not even supposed to bring it up. She's not supposed to talk about it at all. She just did. Betty, come on. Like, what? I like, how are you this fucking dumb? How are you this dumb?
Oh, that must be exhausting.
It must be fucking exhausting to be that stupid.
I have one. This is not a joking matter. This is not a laughing matter. This is
It is exactly both of those things, by the way. It's exactly both of those things.
very serious matter. And no matter what they
No,
tell you out there,
it's not.
the bottom line is, how am I a frivolous lawsuit suer? How many lawsuits have I brought? How many?
See, you could tell that she's like subconsciously like comparing herself to JLR, which I think is fucking hilarious because JLR is definitely a frivolous lawsuiter, a lawsuer, whatever the fuck you call it. And she's thinking that just because this is the only one besides the one that she just fucked up with Frank, she thinks that because it's not as many as JLR, well, then it can't be frivolous, can it? Oh my God. This is so fun.
2? That's what constitutes somebody? I don't think so. Not in the eyes of a court. But again, I would suggest you get an attorney and get off YouTube. Get off the YouTube attorneys. Because, honey, let me break it to
Bro,
you.
I've never heard projecting like this. I've never heard projecting to this level. Like, dude, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Seriously.
It to you. This is about as serious as a heart attack as it's going to get. Getting on with the morning away. Grifting, you don't even know what's in a lawsuit, but I'm a liar. And now
big dummy.
You're collecting money for your defense. I think you need to talk to an attorney, babe. Just saying. Before you get yourself into a lot more trouble. Just saying. Good morning, Sonia. Twin
Just
Love. As
saying.
we move forward through all this, this is going to be the last address that I discuss with it. And I just felt that the need that we need to discuss this because I listened to that and I'm just shaking my head saying, shut that. Like you're going against me. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. Like, you guys are like really digging yourself into a.
I mean, she's like going after everybody, bro. She's like mad, man. She's like, come at me, bro. Everybody. I don't care.
We got a special disliking for these punkolas.
That's right, Betty. A special disliking for these punkolas.
Major hole. And they're just uneducated. They're just truly uneducated. And it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just
I love hearing her.
Wow.
I love hearing her call people uneducated. That's like my favorite.
Easy E.
Oh my God. Betty's coming. Get ready.
And his name is John Cena.
The John Cena of lawsuits, y'all. I love it. Fucking love that shit. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, so here's this thing here. We got this. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole News because she went over this earlier today. She went over this morning, and she did a great job. Down the Rabbit Hole News is my homie. So make sure to subscribe to Down the Rabbit Hole News if you're not already. Make sure to subscribe to Cheesy Weezy if you're not already. Make sure to subscribe to Bash the Tragedy Pimps as well. Hold on a second. So, yeah, we've got defamation per se, libel, slander, tortious interference with prospective economic advantage, intentional infliction of emotional distress complaint. This is a civil action seeking monetary and punitive relief for defamation, slander, libel, tortious interference with prospective economic advantage, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The court has subject matter jurisdiction over the subject matter and the parties here too. Queen Bee, blah 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 blah. Now comes plaintiff. Acting as pro se in this action brings the complaint for defamation, libel, slander, tortious interference, and prospective economic advantage and intellectual infliction of emotional distress. Defendant Queen Bee and Heel's channels on YouTube collectively defendants and alleges as follows. Plaintiff is an independent journalist and a truth and transparency advocate who covers true crime cases nationwide by traveling to locations of interest and reporting from the scene on her YouTube channel, Bullhorn Betty, for her 24,000 plus subscribers. Plaintiff has dedicated her career to helping victims and victims' families and bringing attention to cases that gone unsolved in an attempt to bring closure to families and or victims.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Yes, exactly, McGruber. Thank you. Defendants run multiple YouTube channels and have repeatedly published defamatory statements about plaintiff on her Queen Bee channel or channels. Heels is a moderator that helps run the Queen Bee channel and conspires with Queen Bee to produce videos defaming and harassing plaintiff. See Exhibit A, which we'll get to. Now, I haven't read this. I just kind of thumbed through it just to see what's on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I got to do a reaction to this shit. So on or about January 5th, 2002 appears to be the first defaming video about plaintiff Queen Bee received around 590 views since its release date. I'm pretty sure she probably got more than that. Defendants conspire with others on social media platforms, including but not limited to Discord and other social media platforms like Discord, to coordinate and conspire to attack, harass, and cause disruption to plaintiff. Oh my God. Defendants conspired to falsely report plaintiff's channel to YouTube through brigading on Twitter and encouraging others to help. See Exhibit B. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. You guys know me. I'm not a fan of, I'm definitely not a fan of mass reporting or any of that shit. I just, I'm not a fan of that at all. But, if you do it, so be it. The fact is that the report option is there for a reason. YouTube does it. It's there. You can use it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not faulting anybody else. It's just, I'm not with that shit. Me personally. Defendants have published numerous false and defamatory statements about plaintiff, accusing her of criminal activity, falsely portraying her work as a journalist, and attempting to humiliate and damage her reputation in the eyes of her subscribers and the public. Okay. Now, I don't know. I'd have to review all of their content, but I don't know if they've said anything false about Betty. I don't think they have. I don't see why they would. I think that they share the same attitude as anybody else, which is you don't need to lie. Her fucking content is right there. You could just review it and it's right there. And there's no reason to lie or mislead anyone. It's all right there. Due to the actions of the defendants, plaintiff's views, compensation, and placement on the YouTube platform have been diminished. However, defendants have received increased views, compensation, and placement. The defendant's views for the defaming videos on June 2nd, 2023 had over 8,500 views. She has received a lot of monetary compensation to continue the campaign of harassment and defamation against plaintiff. Now, I'm not even trying to lie. I have, but not from defaming or lying or slandering. I mean, again, I'd have to go over all their content, which I have not done, and I'm not going to. But here's the thing. Let me just break this down real quick. Let me just discuss the big pink elephant in the room real quick. Queen Bee and I, we go way back and we've never gotten along. We do share, though, a lot of the same followers. We do share a lot of the same supporters. So we've kind of called an unspoken ceasefire, more or less. We've never actually really discussed it. But the way that I see it personally is the past is the past. I still like to have my distance. I like to have a boundary that I've set, and I like to stick to that boundary more or less to a certain degree. Sometimes I will cross that boundary myself by commenting in her chat because she's talking about something that I have feelings about, or she's talking about something where I feel the need to join her panel for a moment, and I have joined her panel. But overall, her and I didn't see eye to eye on something that we were both very passionate about on a particular case and particular subject matter. And I think that there's certain things that can't be unsaid that took place during that time, which is why I like to keep a safe distance between the two of us. And I no longer have anything personal against her whatsoever. I wish her channel the best, all of that jazz. But the fact that we have a lot of the same support would tell me, because this is the thing, is I'm very, very clear about how I run my channel. I'm very, very clear about the standards that I set for how people behave in my chat. And I'm very strict about that stuff. I do not bend when it comes to that stuff. And so I don't think that so many of my supporters would find the same comfort in another channel if they didn't follow the same guidelines for themselves. So I'm just going to give, what I'm doing is I'm giving my supporters the benefit of the doubt in this case. And I think that they have higher standards to not support a channel that would actually do the things that Betty's accusing them of. So I this is me just having faith in my supporters. So it goes on to say, defendants have published numerous false and defamatory statements about plaintiff, accusing her of criminal activity, falsely portraying her work as a journalist, and attempting to humiliate and damage her reputation. Okay, I'm glad I read this again because, bro, you're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. Like, stop it. Seriously, fucking stop calling yourself a journalist. And I'm telling you, for your own sake, Betty, when you walk in, and if this ends up being a situation where you have to keep going back to court because this is actually like a defamation trial, like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, you're going to have to prove that you're a journalist. I don't see how a judge is going to take your little press pass that you made with your 1990s printer in Photoshop or PicMonkey or whatever the fuck you used to make thumbnails. I don't think that judge is going to go, she's a journalist, you know. She's a journalist. Yeah, I mean, look, no fucking judge is going to do that, man. Come on, like, your delusions are killing me. Due to the actions of the defendants, hold on, let me make sure I didn't read that already. Yeah, I did already read that. Hold on, let's move up. Specifically, during a live stream, videos published on defendants' YouTube channels, defendants made the following statements about plaintiff. Defendants accused plaintiff of stalking, harassing, and pretending to report and troll so she can make money off of unwitting people. That's exactly what she does. Betty, I'm telling you, sue me. I dare you. But that's exactly what you do. I mean, we all see it all the time. That is the nature of my content when I talk about you generally. Usually, what I'm talking about is how you are deluding yourself into being a fucking journalist when you're not, and you're harassing people. And you're telling lies about people. Victims who you claim to be an advocate for. You do this all the time. There's video footage of you doing exactly what you're denying that these claims are against you. There's video footage that you shot and put out there. Video footage that you created, that you went out there, you filmed, and then you put it out there on your YouTube channel. And then you're trying to sit here and say that it's not true. It's totally true. Dude, I am so willing. Dude, you can use Betty, from Betty to Queen Bee to Heels in the Air, or anybody else who she thinks that she can sue. You are welcome to use my content for your case. You are more than welcome to go through my entire library of content and use it. You have my blessing to do that in this case. That includes Betty. I mean, I feel confident saying that anyway, but I mean, it's fun to say it only because Betty's not going to find one fucking thing in here that she's going to be wanting to use. Defendants defamed plaintiff by referring to her as a tragedy pimp, quote unquote, as defendant knowingly and falsely stated as fact that plaintiff does not actually look for missing people and that plaintiff only harasses and breaks the law. Okay. Here's the thing about that. If you want people to credit you for looking for missing people, actually go out and look for missing people. And if you want people to stop accusing you of harassing and breaking the law, well,
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. I mean, get real, Betty. Defendants have stated with impunity that plaintiff is exploiting victims by covering their cases on plaintiff's YouTube channels. Although defendant's channel covers the same types of cases, which also derives profit from. Okay. I love that she pointed that out. Dude, I mean, I would hire a lawyer. Okay, I just want to be very clear about this. I would absolutely hire a lawyer if I was getting sued. I would 100% hire a lawyer if I was getting sued. But this case, I would feel super confident in defending myself because she has to prove all this stuff. This is the fun thing. She has to prove all of this shit. The burden of proof is on her. She's the plaintiff. She has to prove all of this shit. And we're not even done. We're not even I don't even know how much further we got. But, dude, I would feel perfectly confident going, okay, well, prove it. Prove it. Hoping that I get the opportunity to, explain in context why I do and say what I do. I would love the chance to tell a judge that. Defendants have conspired on their YouTube. Okay, I already said this. Hold on, let me go over this real quick. So it says that, so basically on the C part here, she says that she covers the same type of cases which the defendants, they get a profit from. Now, I've barely ever seen Heels cover true crime. I know she follows it, and once in a while she'll make a video here and there regarding an actual crime case, but normally it's calling out tragedy pimps and things of that nature. But I don't see how that's even she has to prove that Heels in the Air profits from covering those cases. But the thing is there's a difference between covering the case, which is like what I just did in the last live that I just ended. There's a difference between covering the case, and then there's spreading misinformation about the case. There's inciting harassment against a victim. There's actually harassing a victim versus covering a case. The fact that she doesn't know the difference is dangerous, but in this case, in the case of a lawsuit, it's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. What she does is horrible and it's serious, but the fact that she is actually going to be put in a position to go in front of a judge and be called out on it is hilarious to me. The fact that she doesn't seem to understand the difference between what I do and what anybody else. Now, Queen Bee, I don't know. I know that they discuss crime cases, but I don't think that Queen actually will do what she would consider covering the case necessarily. I don't think, I've never seen that. I mean, maybe she has. I'm just saying I've never seen it. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it's her I would describe Queen Bee's channel as a discussion channel. I would describe Queen Bee's channel as a discussion channel. So she opens her panel for discussion. And sometimes that subject matter is a case that the community is talking about. And so, which, I mean, that's not necessarily covering a case. So what Queen is capitalizing on, what she is getting support from her supporters for, is the discussion. It's not sharing news. It's not going, hey, you know, I'm here to report, and I'm here to report on this, report on that. She doesn't do that. Not that I've seen. She just merely says, okay, well, okay, everybody's talking about this case. I want to hear what the people who normally join my panel, and anybody who wants to join my panel, I want to hear what they have to say about it. I want to hear what they think. And people find that interesting. That's perfectly honest content. It might not be your thing, but it's honest content. So she goes on to say, defendants have stated with impunity that plaintiff is exploiting victims by covering their cases on plaintiff's YouTube channel, although defendant's channel covers the same types of cases which also derives profit from. I already read that. But yeah, I just explained as to why that's bullshit. Defendants have conspired on their YouTube channels with others to take plaintiff's channel out by mass reporting the channel on Twitter, which is what YouTube refers to as brigading, causing disruption to plaintiff's live stream in a coordinated attack to flash mob plaintiff's chat and to further disrupt business practices. Now, okay. That does happen. That does happen. Now, I don't know if Heels has ever done it. I've never seen Heels actually go live. Maybe she has, but I've never seen Queen Bee do that. I've never seen Queen Bee say, well, you know, let's all go over there and raid Betty's chat real quick. I've never heard her do that. Maybe she has. I don't know. I'm just saying I've never heard it. But I don't know if that's a suable defense. You know what I mean? That's why you have moderators. You know? You have moderators, and your moderators, I mean, that's happened to me before, where a bunch of people come into my chat and troll it, and I'll even acknowledge a lot of it. But I don't whine about, oh, they disrupted my live stream. They distracted me. Oh my goodness. I don't fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like, it goes with the territory. It's part of the process. It's part of being a YouTuber. And especially if you do fucked up shit. Like, it blows my mind that it's never occurred to Betty. She thinks that the world is against me, and I don't understand why everybody's coming after me. It's that you do horrible shit. You do the things that they're accusing you of. You do the things that you're saying are lies that they're saying about you. You actually do them, so they're not lies. And so if you get angry people in your chat, it's because of that. Otherwise, people are just going to mind their own business and avoid you. But I've never actually seen it. I've seen a troll come into her chat here and there. I've gone over her streams where she's talking and talking and talking, and then once in a while somebody comes up and, you know what, buddy? You know what, buddy? Get out of here, buddy. Oh, this gets better. Oh my God. So defendants made multiple statements about the plaintiff's mental state and have provided statements of fact on the defendant's channel that the plaintiff is mentally ill and even called the plaintiff schizophrenic in an effort to further humiliate the plaintiff and to cause additional harm to the plaintiff's reputation and ability to make money on YouTube. Now, I want to discuss that real quick. So that's very funny to me. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know if anybody's gone on Queen Bee's channel and said it's a fact that Bullhorn Betty is schizophrenic. I don't know if anybody's done that. All I know is that that's not what affected anything. Okay? If people decided, oh my God, well, Betty's not who I thought she was, so I'm going to unsubscribe, that probably has a lot to do with her criminal record, which is public record, which has been shown by so many people, including myself. So to me, it's just really interesting that she has the she has the audacity to say that, but she leaves that part out. She knows that by saying, oh, well, they show my criminal record and blah, 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 and then people made their opinions about me, and then it cost me money. Well, I mean, criminal record is your criminal record. It is what it is. What do you want? But I mean, and yeah, see, that's the thing is that's another thing. If they did do that, okay, if that did take place on Queen's channel, I would say, okay, because I'm saying there's a reason why I try to cover my own ass too. Mostly simply because I just don't want to spread misinformation. I pride myself on not being somebody who does that. But it's also a little part of it is to cover my own ass. So I will sit here and go, I'm not a mental health expert, but based on what I've read or heard someone say about this, and this, like a mental health professional, such, for instance, I would say, that looks like schizophrenia to me. You know what I mean? I've never said that about Betty. I don't think I've ever said that Betty is schizophrenic or I think that she's schizophrenic. But, I mean, borderline personality disorder, I have said that seems like it could be on the table. But I've never actually outright called her someone with personality. I know better than to diagnose somebody when I don't have a degree to be able to do so. And I know better than to let anybody else do it if I have an open panel, which I never do these days, or if I see it in my chat. And I have mods that watch out for that stuff too. My mods know better than to let people do that. So if somebody just straight up just puts out a mental health diagnosis in my chat when they're not, qualified to do so, well, then they're corrected, at least by somebody. At the very least, the comment will be deleted. And if they continue, then they'll be timed out. And if it's clear that they're just there to cause trouble, then they'll be hidden. But I don't know if Queen Bee has ever been like, if she's that on top of it, where somebody on her panel saying things like that, and she goes, hey, wait a minute. Maybe she is. I don't know. I don't listen to her enough to be able to make that distinct observation. But she seems like she has enough sense to do that. So, I don't know. But Betty thinks that she could prove all this, which is really funny. Now this is funny. Defendants have called plaintiff lolcow, hogs, and other degrading names to incite her audience to maliciously attack plaintiff and to further publicly dehumanize plaintiff. Oh my God. Defendants have made false statements by telling the audience plaintiff was paid by Molly Golightly, a former YouTube channel, to report findings on defendant. I don't know about that either. I don't know. if that happened, because she's saying C. Oh, no. That's never mind. That just seems like a fucking claim that she's making. Defendants have stated that plaintiff collects money from plaintiff's channel and doesn't search or help in the cases covered, despite hundreds of hours of footage to the contrary. This oh my God. This is an attempt to deprive plaintiff of income provided through her channel. Defendants state on their channel that plaintiff had sexual intercourse with a YouTuber by the name of Dolly Vision. They further state that the plaintiff had sexual intercourse with another YouTuber by the name of JLR. I have collaborated with both creators as well as many other creators over the last 2 years. This may jeopardize future business opportunities and work assignments with future collaboration. Defendants and future collaborators and or collaborators. Okay. All right, look. I just think it's funny that she thinks that if the word got out, that's if it's true or not. I mean, that's if it's true, not saying it is, but if the word got out that that she slept with Dolly Vision, it's gonna cost her money. Oh, JLR. Like, God forbid, dude. Like, God forbid anybody fucking knows. That shit is just so funny to me, dude. That shit is just so funny to me. Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like, being worried that if somebody found out that I consensually slept with someone, where it's nobody's business if I did or not, but if anybody found out, that I'd be worried about losing money over it. I can't imagine living in that world, bro. That shit is too much, bro. I can't even. Wow. So defendants intentionally and willfully and with malice and afterthought defamed plaintiff in an effort to humiliate, dehumanize, embarrass, and cause great reputational harm to plaintiff personally and professionally. Further in this video, it was stated that there were no locals at Leilani Simon's house until plaintiff Dolly Vision and Molly Golightly arrived in Chatham County. That is false. There were several local people and a lot of media in front of the home when plaintiff showed up. This video received 9,528 views. Okay, hold on a second. All right, so she's saying, all right, now here's the thing about that. If I were to counter that, if it were me, if I were to counter that, I would simply point out the fact and I would show the footage that's there, it's out there, that, excuse me, that Betty was trying to get people to go out there. Betty was trying to build a bullhorn army. Go out there, cause as much ruckus as you can, just whatever you can do without actually assaulting anybody or trespassing and going on property. But she absolutely tried to get her supporters to go out there and make a thing out of it. I absolutely remember her doing that. I absolutely remember covering it. And I remember criticizing her for it. So I don't know what she's. The defendants have posted that plaintiff will need bail money and that plaintiff is going to jail. Plaintiff has also researched and followed the laws when covering a case. Defendants have further stated multiple times plaintiff should be in jail. Now, that's the thing is, I've said that. And I want to be very clear about something in case, Betty, you're watching. I think you belong in jail. I absolutely think you belong in jail. You want to sue me for saying that? Good luck. But I think you absolutely belong in jail. I think you absolutely belong in jail, and I think that you should be sued by every single victim that you have ever defamed in any way, shape, or form. I'm not even going to try to like sugarcoat that. Like, you should be in jail for what you do. Absolutely. Now, maybe there's not a law against what you do, technically, but there fucking should be. And how funny is it that there's a law about that in Florida that is inspired by your actions directly? How interesting is that? So it goes on to say, defendants have repeatedly referred to plaintiff as Strangler Betty. Strangler Betty, Battery Betty, and other defaming statements in an effort to redirect subscribers and members from plaintiff's YouTube channel to defendants to force plaintiff off YouTube and cause financial harm to plaintiff. No, I can tell you this right now. I mean, I can't speak for them, but for myself, the reason why I call you those things is because they're fitting, humorous nicknames. We call you Strangler Betty or Battery Betty. I call you Strangler Betty or Battery Betty because of your police record. That's why. I mean, they're fitting. They're fitting. Not to mention all of your numerous meltdowns that you've had on your YouTube channel showing your anger. Basically, almost reinforcing the things that people say about you based on your very public record, your very public criminal record. So, I mean, this is just you whining about people calling you names. Like, I could tell you that I do it because it's fucking funny. I don't give a shit about you making money or not. I think it's funny. I call you Strangler and Battery Betty because it's funny. It makes me laugh. This conduct has also caused the infliction of emotional distress, as plaintiff has invested vast amounts of time, effort, and heavy financial burden to build a creative and successful YouTube channel. Bro. Defendants have acknowledged multiple times on multiple live streams that she is targeting plaintiff and wants plaintiff off of YouTube and her channel terminated. See, that's another thing. That's another reason. Again, I don't give a shit if her channel gets deleted or not. It probably will, and when it does, I'm going to laugh my ass off because I think it's funny that, it's you play with fire, you get burned. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, if you're jumping up and down on the edge of a trampoline and then you fall off the trampoline, I'm going to giggle. After I ask if you're okay, I'm going to go, oh shit, dude. Because you fucking put yourself in that position. It's funny to me. It makes me laugh. Like, if you put yourself in a position to get fucked up, and then you get fucked up, but overall you're okay, I'm going to laugh. That shit is very funny to me. Defendant has conspired with others to target plaintiff, even though plaintiff was unaware of defendant's existence, nor had any interaction with the... The judge doesn't give a fuck about none of that. prior to his unprovoked harassment. Had any interaction with the defendants prior to this unprovoked harassment. On or about March 31st, 2023, plaintiff became aware of the defendants were making defamatory videos about her. No, I think you knew before then. Well, that's Queen Bee. But I'm pretty sure Heels was making videos before that. I'm almost positive Heels was making videos before 2023 and she knew about it. The defendants make reference and are elated on the live streams that plaintiff is losing subscribers and money. They are actively, willfully, maliciously, and with intent causing financial hardship, personal, and professional damage. See, this is very telling as well. Here she is, and she's blaming all of the creators for, well, she's in this lawsuit because what's funny is this is now a legal document. She filed this. So according to this document, Queen Bee and Heels in the Air are solely responsible for her losing money. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But the way that I'm reading that right there is that she is basically saying that Heels in the Air and Queen Bee are directly and solely responsible for her losing money. And the reality of it is, it's her. You know, it's absolutely her. It's absolutely her. It's absolutely her actions. It's absolutely the fact that she promises her subscribers certain things after they give her money, and then she doesn't deliver on what she promised. And she's done it consistently. And the beauty of that is you could sit there like Queen Bee and Heels in the Air could show up to court and show all of this evidence proving that, but they won't even have to unless they countersue. Now, if they countersue, now I don't know if they have a case or not, but if they have a case, if I was in their position and I had a case, I would absolutely countersue just for the opportunity to go, dude, like, look, is she crazy? Look at what she's done. How can she sue me for slander? So I would countersue for, I don't know what grounds, but something along the lines where it's wrong for her to actually drag people out to court. She's got to be able to, at least court costs. You know what I mean? Because this is all bullshit. This is all provable bullshit, meaning that you could prove that it's bullshit. Not saying that it's provable what she's saying. I'm saying you could absolutely prove that it is bullshit. There's so much evidence. There's so much documentation. And like I said, they're welcome to use my content all they want in order to prove their case. They're more than welcome to it. Oh, I love it. I have a lawyer in the chat right now. So she could sue others for this because she signed this under penalty of law and said it's solely their fault. That could be used against her in any other lawsuit. Probably not a good idea to use solely. I don't think she said that. I don't want to misquote her, Jess. I want to be clear. She's implying it. So maybe you're right. But she's implying by only filing lawsuits against them. That's where I'm coming to that conclusion. Maybe you can help me out a little bit. I'm coming to the conclusion that that's what she's doing by filing a lawsuit to only Queen Bee and Heels in the Air. But I don't think that she said solely. I'm saying this tells the court that she's solely blaming them when it's fucking everybody. You know what I mean? It's anybody who makes videos about BHP. What is she going to sue everybody? I mean, she could try to sue me. Good luck. Yeah, no, I get it, Jess. I'm just saying you don't I don't want to misquote. You know, you're the lawyer here, so I don't want to misquote. I don't want I want to be clear about what I'm reading and what I'm saying. It is well documented that the defendant sent and or helped fund what appeared to be an unstable woman to come to Chatham County, Georgia, to interfere with business being conducted by plaintiff, resulting in plaintiff being assaulted by the woman. Wait, what? When she hit plaintiff's nose, although no arrest took place. Plaintiff possesses the incident report of the altercation. This caused additional emotional distress and shows this honorable court the lengths the defendants are willing to go in order to cause harm to the plaintiff. I love this shit. This shit is just fucking fantastic, bro. This shit is just fucking great, bro. Fucking fantastic. That is the best shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to read that shit one more time. It is well documented that the defendant sent and or helped fund what appeared to be a unstable woman to come to Chatham County, Georgia, to interfere with business being conducted by plaintiff. Business being conducted by Betty, folks. Business being conducted by Betty, resulting in the plaintiff being assaulted by the woman when she hit plaintiff's nose, although no arrest took place. Where's the footage of that? What we have footage of is Dolly assaulting her. Although no arrest took place, plaintiff possesses the incident report of the altercation. This caused additional emotional distress and shows this honorable court the lengths of the lengths the defendants are willing to go in order to cause harm to the plaintiff. So let me get this straight, bro. So she's saying that Heels in the Air and Queen Bee conspired. Now, it's not exactly what it says here verbatim, but it's what it says. That they conspired to let's get a soldier out there. Let's get a merc. Let's get a YouTube mercenary to go out there and disrupt Betty from making money. Let's do that. No, dude. Like, first of all, how are you going to prove that? First of all, let me make that second of all. First of all, that's just plain wrong. That's not true. I can tell you that right now. That's just not fucking true. But B, second of all, you got to prove that. You're the plaintiff. You got to prove that. Bro, I would love to see Betty go in front of Judge Judy. Judge Judy would tear her apart. Judge Judy would be like, what the fuck? Judge Judy would be like, okay, I see all this video footage. Where's the video footage of her assaulting you? And where is the proof that these people sent her out there? And where's the proof that these people were sent out there to keep you from making money? Where is that? You're a liar. You're a liar and a piece of shit. That's what she would say, just like MacGruber. She would be like,
you're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Exactly like that, bro. I mean, she has to prove this shit. I don't understand why she thinks that she could just show up to court with no proof. Blows my mind. And that she's like, that woman assaulted me. So she's basically saying that that woman was sent out there to assault her and cost her from making money. And no arrest was made. Like, bro, that's because there's video footage of Dolly assaulting that woman. Like, you don't count. Like, if her hand hit your nose because she was trying to keep Dolly from snatching something out of her hand, that's not her assaulting you. That's a residual effect from Dolly assaulting that woman, which clearly happened, which is why Dolly was put in handcuffs and thrown in jail for it. Defendants have discussed openly reaching out to victims' families and discussed plaintiff in a negative light and unprovoked. And while those families were still grieving the loss of their loved ones. Wow, lady, really? Defendants have discussed openly reaching out to victims' families and discussed plaintiff in a negative light and unprovoked. And while those families were still grieving the loss of their loved ones. So what she's saying here, now this, I would love to see proof of this. Because here she's saying that because the plaintiffs are Queen Bee and are Heels in the Air. Okay? What she's saying here is that Queen Bee and Heels in the Air reached out to these victims. They reached out to these victims to talk shit about Betty. Like, made it a point. Oh, let me call up one of the victims of these cases and just shit talk Betty. Woohoo! I mean, that's a hell of an accusation, and you're gonna have to prove that. And I don't see any victims, and this is a really funny thing, is I don't see any victims coming forward and being like, I'm here to help Betty. Like, you harassed all of them. You know that all of us collectively talk shit about you harassing those people. Those people aren't going to come to bat for you. What world are you living in? You know you have to prove this shit, right? Defendants did this with malice and to cause reputational harm on plaintiff. Defendants have reached out to suspects alleging plaintiff, in threatening. But hold on. Defendants have reached out to suspects alleging plaintiff is threatening and harassing them. To suspects? Reached out to suspects. What? Okay, what she's talking about. She's referring to Don and Candace Wells. I don't know if Queen or Heels in the Air have ever reached out to Don or Candace Wells. Okay? Or Candace Bly. I don't know if they ever have. I know I haven't. But I'm interested to know how she plans on proving that Queen Bee or Heels in the Air did this. Because she'd have to, if this were a document that would hold any water, right? If this were a document that could hold any water at all, then she would have named those victims. But she's afraid of those victims coming forward and speaking the truth about her. That's why she's leaving their names out. That's why she called them suspects. Now, technically, they are suspects, but anybody even remotely involved in that area when Summer Wells went missing is considered by law enforcement a suspect. But she likes to refer to them, as JLR does, as prime suspects. They have never, ever, ever been named by law enforcement as quote unquote prime suspects. Yet JLR constantly refers to them as prime suspects. And Betty refers to them as prime suspects. So that right there is slanderous. Now, not to Queen or Heels. They wouldn't have any grounds to countersue on that point. But Don and Candace might. Defendants have reached out to suspects alleging plaintiff is threatening and harassing them. You absolutely threatened and harassed them. I don't know so much about threatening. Let's be clear about that. But you definitely harassed them. 100%. Showing up to their place of employment, declining to talk to you, and then going to work to earn an honest day's living, and you showing up there with a bullhorn and 3 other fucking idiots yelling and screaming, holding idiot signs, then yes, that's harassment. That is clearly harassment. Showing up to their house, that's harassment. Just because you don't go on their property, you think a judge is going to see that? You think a judge is going to be like, well, I mean, did they actually cross the line on the property before that? No, a judge is going to go, dude, can they hear you yelling through a bullhorn if they're in the house? Did they get fired that day as a result of you showing up to their job? That's fucking harassment, dude. This could have caused great Wow. Let me read that again. Defendants have reached out to suspects alleging plaintiff is threatening, harassing them. This could have caused great bodily harm to plaintiff. Plaintiff maintains she has never threatened anyone or broken the law. Dude, you've totally broken the law. What are you talking about? And as far as threatening, I don't know. But she's not denying. This is very interesting here. She's not denying harassment. She doesn't put harassment there. She says threatening and harassing them. This could have caused great bodily harm to plaintiff. Plaintiff maintains she has never threatened anyone or broken the law. But she's not saying, she doesn't deny that she harassed them, which is very interesting. Now, I don't know if that matters, but so defendants have encouraged panel members to make and or distribute a binder purportedly displays the plaintiff's alleged criminal history. It's not alleged. I mean, it's there. It is distributed to the police departments and sheriff's departments where plaintiff is covering a case in an effort to humiliate plaintiff and prevent plaintiff from acquiring certain interviews she may have otherwise been provided. Okay, so what she's saying here is that that on the panel, on Queen Bee's panel, that they encouraged people to put together a binder and let law enforcement know when she's in an area and I think the binder thing was just like a jab at her because it's funny that she fucking has binders on people. I think it's fucking hilarious. So, but if that's the case, then that was said in jest. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a jab at the fact that, you know, Betty's the only person left on this part of the 21st century, this far into the 21st century, where she's keeping all her information in a binder instead of on a fucking hard drive on the like 5 computers that she owns that she probably grifted off of all of her subscribers. But I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with informing law enforcement, especially during an open investigation. During an open investigation, there is absolutely nothing wrong with informing law enforcement, hey, listen, you're going to have this person there. This is the kind of person that she is. This is her criminal record. You don't think that cops apply that to their investigations? You don't think that if let's hypothetical scenario, there's a murder in Betty's neighborhood. Okay. And Betty can't account for her whereabouts just yet. Right. She's one of many suspects. Right. You don't think that they're going to look at her much closer once they see her criminal record? That's what cops do. That's part of an investigation. The cops are going to look at your criminal record and be like, okay, I like this guy for this. I'm going to look into this. I mean, just this goes on and on. I mean, every fucking cop show, movie you've ever seen, they're like, what's his priors? How many priors does they have? They're not looking at convictions. They're looking at arrests. They're saying, how many priors does this suspect have? Ridiculous, dude. Hadley totally was a boss. Damn, my coffee's getting cold. It is distributed to the I love how she put binder in quotes. Plaintiff further states defendants are well aware that most of the charges they distributed were unfounded, dropped, and or dismissed through due process. This is true. I wouldn't say unfounded, simply because what we're looking at are police reports. When I'm looking at that, I'm looking at a police report. I'm not looking at a witness statement. I'm not looking at hearsay. I'm saying this is a fucking police report. This is what the cop who arrested her says he saw, which is her running around with no pants on and then busted her with ecstasy and blow. That's a fucking fact. That's what the cop said. It is a fact that a cop put that in an official statement. The intentional, willful, and malicious actions of the defendants have caused irreparable harm to plaintiffs' finances and reputation, personally and professionally. See, it's not irreparable. It's not irreparable at all. Okay? She's worried about doxing. She thinks that doxing causes irreparable harm. I've been doxed. I've sat up on other people's channels and talked about my personal life, and that stuff is very public. And a lot of people, I've lost people over that. But this is the thing, is I look at that as, hey, certain things that I'd prefer to be private came out, and my personal belief is to take accountability for these things. If it came out, then it came out. Now, I could deny it, but what good is that going to do? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to deny the stuff that's not true, and I'm going to admit to the stuff that is true, because for my personal growth, that's important. But she has no concept of this. But the thing is my attitude is, if these things come out, yes, it's inconvenient. Anybody's personal shit that comes out is inconvenient when you have a certain reputation on YouTube, right? Or publicly in any way, shape, or form, in any manner, shape, or form. But right, Sabian, I was going to get to that. She's also doxed people herself, other YouTubers. And the thing is nobody doxed her. Nobody doxed her. She calls herself Andrew Griffin, aka Bullhorn Betty. That's how she announces herself. She says, this is Andrew Griffin, aka Bullhorn Betty. That's what she does. That's not, nobody else is doxing her. Now, if you take that name and where she says she lives and look up her criminal record, which is public, well, you're going to get those results if they're there. That's not doxing. That's just people doing their due diligence and going, you know what? Let me see. Hold on a second. Is this shit true? Hold on. And if her followers go, well, wait a minute, she's a fucking hypocrite and a liar. That's on her. That's not on anybody else. That's you. If the shit that I did back in the day fucks my shit up here, that's on me. I did those things. I made certain choices as an adult that, part of me changing for the better is taking accountability for those things, acknowledging those things, and growing from it. And it's on me to build my channel. Despite those things, despite what's being said about me, it is on me to provide you guys with content that is going to earn your subscription and earn your support. That's on me. That is nobody else. So, I mean, I don't know why she thinks this is a person. I mean, if I'm a judge, I'm going to look at this and go, well, did you have this criminal record? Let me look into that. Yeah, you sure did. How is that defamation? How is that slander? I don't understand. Do you call yourself Andrew Griffin? AKA Bullhorn Betty? Well, okay. I don't, what are you talking about? The intentional, willful, and malice actions of the defendants have caused irreparable harm to plaintiff's finances, reputation. Oh my God. The defaming videos and posts will never fully be removed from the internet. The internet is forever, Betty. You're right about that. This will be a burden plaintiff will have to deal with her entire life, moving forward on YouTube and into perpetuity. This will never be reversed and may cost plaintiff future business dealings because plaintiff has sold content for profit or provided photographs and or videography to other organizations within the United States of America borders and globally. If plaintiff wants to change jobs or occupations, she will never have to deal with the results, or she will forever have to deal with the results of this attack. Wow. Dude, any job worth a shit is going to do a background check on you. And is that their fault? I mean, who's at fault here? You for doing blow and ecstasy and getting drunk and choking your significant other and all of that shit. Was it that hurts your reputation, or it coming out that hurts your reputation? Plaintiff affirms she doesn't know these people, nor has engaged with these people to elicit this conduct, attack, and unlawful malicious action from defendants in this matter, other than to defend herself against this unfathomable attack. Plaintiff mailed by certified mail with a return receipt request, a cease and desist letter to the defendants to cease their conduct. She willfully and intentionally avoided receipt of this letter and was ultimately returned to plaintiff as undelivered after multiple attempts by the United States Postal Service. Could it be, Betty, that you've got the wrong person? Could it be that you tried to dox B and it turned out to not be her? Plaintiff emailed a copy of the cease and desist letter to the above emails of defendants. Queen B sent a prior email to plaintiff from this email address. See Exhibit J. Following the defendant's receipt of the cease and desist letter by email, they scheduled live streams for 2 consecutive days immediately following receipt to continue their campaign of insults and demeaning names. Defense defendants intentionally, willfully, maliciously, and with afterthought failed to adhere to or take the letter seriously regarding their conduct and actions and or against plaintiff. Yes, just for the record, I want to be very clear, and I've done it before and will continue to do so. If you send me a C&D over what I do, I'm going to wipe my ass with it. I mean, I'm just, I don't give a fuck about your little C&D. I'm never going to shut up about what I have every right to talk about. Same as you, Betty. You think that you have every right to talk about certain things. Well, you know, but yeah, I'm going to wipe my ass with a C&D straight up. I mean, Kelly Long tried pulling that shit with me and I laughed. And I laughed about it on my channel. Anybody, exactly, Mike M, fair use. I mean, you try to send me a C&D over something that you can't legally shut me up about, you can fuck right off. What? Plaintiff is a content creator with multiple platforms that leverages localism to bring news and entertainment services and value to consumers and advertisers through its alternative media, digital, mobile media, and social media platforms. Plaintiff operated programs or provide sales and or other services to multiple social media platforms or related reach to a worldwide audience and households. Plaintiff invests vast resources, including time, effort, talent, creativity, and money to provide its viewers and readers with high-quality crime story reporting and to produce news stories and programs that are original to plaintiff and that constitute copyrightable subject matter under the laws of the United States. Except every single time you tried to copyright strike somebody, you lose. Plaintiff is a content creator that travels the United States to provide creative and new crime stories for her audience. Shouldn't this all have been put before all of the accusations? Why the need to fucking blow your own bullshit? Brianna, thank you so much. See, I always laugh when people put screen names in legal filings. The TikTok Idaho 4 psychic chick did it too. I just imagine judges giggling at those. Right. That's what's really funny is this did not take much to redact at all. I was not the one to redact it. The person who did asked me to kind of leave them out of it, more or less. But neither me or my people have redacted this. Now, this redaction, this is funny because it's all about YouTube. This is very telling in the sense that she thinks of herself as Bullhorn Betty and not Andra. And she thinks of everyone as within a YouTube world. So here she is going real life, but she can't even disconnect herself from YouTube enough to convincingly go real life, which is very fascinating to me. Because through this whole thing, she is referring to them by their YouTube channel names, which I think is really, really funny. For plaintiff, now this is interesting. For plaintiff to prove defamation against defendants, a plaintiff must prove 4 elements in a defamation case in Illinois. First, they must prove that the defendant made a false statement about the plaintiff. Okay. Then they must prove that the defendant relayed the false statement to a third party. Now, she might have those 2 things. It's possible. We'll see. I don't know. It's all in how you word things. You got to be careful. Libel and slander are different types of defamation. Libel is a written false statement about another person, and slander is a false oral statement about another person. Illinois considers libel and slander the same when it comes to defamation lawsuits. A defamation case can prove either libel or slander. The next step in a defamation case is proving fault by the defendant. Okay. That's where things are going to get tricky for Betty, I think. Exactly, lawyer, Mr. Raven. The defendant must have displayed at least negligent fault for the plaintiff to prove defamation. Illinois courts apply a reasonable grounds standard of negligence in defamation cases. The defendant must either know the statement was false or believe it to be true, but lack reasonable grounds for that belief. Okay, let me read that one more time. Illinois courts apply a reasonable grounds standard of negligence in defamation cases. The defendant must either know the statement was false or believe it to be true, but lack reasonable grounds for that belief. Now, bro, let me be very, very clear about something. Okay? Let me be very, very clear about something. Both of those things apply. Not on Betty's case, but there is at least enough reason to believe that the things that she's accusing Queen and Heels in the Air of saying, there's enough reason to believe that they actually believe these things. There's more than enough. So yeah, so they have to actually believe the shit. And I believe that they believe the shit. All right. Now I'm just going to read this because I just noticed something that I'd rather not share, but it's not a big deal. In order to state a defamation claim, plaintiff must plead facts demonstrating that the defendant made a false statement about plaintiff and that defendant made an unprivileged publication of the statement to a third party and that the publication caused damages to plaintiff. And she went over, she gave some examples. And what I thought was funny was one of the cases when Rabbit went over this morning, she pointed out that one of the cases she looked into, I just don't have time to do it right now. But she went over one of those cases that's referenced there. And the plaintiff lost. She used an example of a case where the plaintiff actually lost. And I'm pretty sure what you want to do is reference a case where the plaintiff wins, where what they're saying applies and the plaintiff wins. I don't think it helps her case to point out a case where the plaintiff was doing what she's doing and then fucking lost. Lawyer Mystery Maven says, if it's a public figure, then it's a different standard to whoever asked. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Okay. Yeah. Lawyer Mystery Maven, if you can confirm what I'm saying, I don't know 100%, but I'm about 99.9% sure that when you file something and reference another case to prove your point as to why you have a case, I would think that you're going to reference something to where it works in the plaintiff's favor and the plaintiff won, right? I mean, I would think that would be a good move for an attorney, right? Right. Exactly. Thank you. Appreciate the validation. So, I saw something else here. Dolly called BHP the Florida Straggler. I love it. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much bullshit here. It's just laughable. All of this is laughable. I'm just gonna move past all of this bullshit and get to, because I only got a little bit of time. So here's her evidence here. Here's her exhibits. And I'm just going to show this. This is a screenshot where somebody's going over JLR's thing, and it says yeah, okay. So Heels has a wrench on Queen Bee's channel. We all know that. But what is this supposed to prove? She's not presenting the evidence very well. He has a long history of what? Probation needs permission to leave the state. He's the biggest idiot on here since he does exist. Right. But has a long history of what? What are you circling? Why is that long history of what? Exhibit B, folks. This is Queen Bee's Twitter. Heels in the air. Every one of these harassment videos are still up and monetized. All are stating as fact that another creator manufactured and sold drugs to children, which is demonstrably false. People are spreading the lie. Team YouTube, 4 videos in a row targeted another creator. I thought targeting, harassing, and doxing were against TOS. She's using someone else's record to dox her. Okay, so that's Heels basically calling out. She's reporting to Team YouTube on Twitter. Everybody knows that if you want a response from YouTube, the best thing to do is to tag at Team YouTube on Twitter. And that's what she's doing here, and stating that she's doxing somebody who is the wrong person. But what's really interesting about this Exhibit B, okay, what I love about Exhibit B here, Exhibit B shows Heels saying every one of these harassment videos are still up and monetized, which are, by the way, because she's not going to take those down. And it doesn't matter because so many people have clipped the shit. All are stating as fact that another creator manufactured and sold drugs to children, which she has done, by the way. Are you going to sue me too? Because I hope you try. Because you have stated as fact. I fucking heard you, Andra, state, and Dolly too, state as fact that Queen Bee sold drugs to children without any evidence at all. That is called slander. So I love that Exhibit B is evidence for a possible countersuit. Oh my God, Betty. Dude, are you kidding me right now?
I feel like a slice of butter melting on top of a big old pile of flapjacks.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Exactly. You totally just presented Exhibit B as something that Heels could absolutely, or Queen Bee could absolutely use in a countersuit. Wow. So this goes on to say, this is another one here, Heels in the air, saying that this is a 4th video in a row. Bullhorn Betty is viciously doxing another creator on a live. She's accusing her of selling drugs to children. Has to stop. Which is basically her straight up, like, that's what she's doing. She's defending herself and she's putting it on record. What do you think? You don't think that Heels and Queen were thinking long term here by putting this stuff out there? They want that shit screenshotted. They want that shit documented. They want that there. Like this right here proves that they tried to report the slander and defamation through proper channels. Now, again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know. This is just me speaking in theory. But this right here leaves a paper trail of evidence. So before they go into court and say, okay, well, you slandered and defamed somebody without any proof, we tried to get you to stop. Because if you notice, very carefully notice, right here, she tagged Bullhorn Betty. She tagged her here. And then Toast put in her 2 cents here. Bullhorn Betty YouTube channel is now showing pics of someone's kids on her live stream and continuing to threaten another content creator with more, saying, you want to keep going, babe? Right. I remember that. So right there, the person whose ever kids those are has grounds for a lawsuit, I would think. I don't know for sure. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. And this is Betty showing this as evidence. Fairy Dust Diaries, welcome to Logic. Appreciate that. This just goes on and on. Now, Dolly Vision, who recently lost monetization, is also doing this doxing, saying this creator sold drugs to kids, and it is not her record. Take this down now. The creator is Queen Bee. Timestamp. So, I mean, this is all them just trying to like, and what this isn't protection from a lawsuit. I want to be very clear about that. Them doing this on Twitter is not protection from a lawsuit. It's not fear of some sort of legal action coming from Betty and them trying to cover their asses. That's not what that is. That's them trying to protect some innocent person's kids being blasted all over these people's YouTube channels. They're saying, please take these videos down. Now, normally, I would never want to report somebody for something like these things, but in the nature of what they're doing here, I absolutely support it. I support the fact that they reported those videos because they were absolutely showing somebody's kids. You should not be showing anybody's fucking kids on here, dude. They weren't sitting here trying to take the channel down. They weren't sitting there going, hey, take this channel down. Delete the channel, YouTube. They weren't saying that. They were saying, hey, take the video down. They're doxing kids. They're putting kids in harm's way. That's a responsible thing to do. So Team YouTube responds, it's best to continue reporting the channel content so this gets routed to our review team. Once we confirm that the channel is violative of our community guidelines, we'll act on it. Now that's interesting, okay? Because I think that also, see, that's why they're saying you got to keep reporting it. Like, they have to see, because again, YouTube is business partners with people. They want to avoid liability themselves. So YouTube could probably, I mean, I don't know how it works exactly, but they could probably, if they want to, just delete someone's channel if they want to. But in order to avoid the bullshit of litigation, they're going to cover their ass and make sure that they had grounds to delete that channel and fuck with someone's money. So they're saying, keep reporting them. And if you keep reporting them, then, we'll determine whether or not that's enough to boot them off, so that if the time comes and we have to go to court, we could go, this is all of the shit that was reported. We thought it was in our best interest as that person's business partner to sever our relationship with them and boot them off of our platform. And Queen Bee responded there, this creator has been reported several times and nothing has been done. She is breaking community guidelines by doxing and harassing and threatening children. Please take the time to look into this. Seems to be mentally unstable. Now, she said seems to be. You can see someone's behavior, because I could tell you right now, Betty, you can sue me because you act fucking crazy. And you definitely seem fucking crazy. You seem delusional. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever been diagnosed with anything where these symptoms are a thing, but the symptoms are apparent. Those symptoms are absolutely apparent. Like this document that you filed shows that you're delusional. It absolutely does. It shows that it shows narcissistic qualities. Because here you are completely and totally oblivious to your own actions, and you're denying things. You're accusing these people of accusing you of certain things and saying that they're untrue when the receipts are all there. I have them, Heels has them, Queen Bee has them, Toast has them. So many creators. I mean, I can go on and on. Cheesy Weezy, Tragedy Pimps Exposed, Constant Sue has something to say. I mean, there are so many clip channels, so many, that document you doing the things that you're saying are false accusations coming from them. That's really, really humorous to me. That's really funny to me that you think that stuff doesn't say what it says. Yeah, Queen Bee says that's not even her. 4 videos in a row targeting another creator. I thought targeting, harassing, and doxing. Okay. I mean, now, in Heels in the Air's defense and Queen Bee's, I mean, they're not mass reporting anything. They're just reporting something, and it was under Team YouTube's advisement to simply, it was under Team YouTube's advisement to continue to report. They're simply doing what YouTube told them to do. At Team YouTube. Oh, okay. Got you. Thank you, Heels in the Air. At Team YouTube straight up responded to them on Twitter, because that's how you got a response from them. At Team YouTube responded and said, how you get this done and how you get us to act is to continue to report them. Which basically, if you want to break that down, it means the next time they do something, report that. And then the next time they report something, do that. Not necessarily continue to report them doing the same thing. Because, I mean, that may not be enough. What they're looking for is enough grounds to boot somebody to where if they end up in a courtroom over it, they definitely have enough that's going to ensure that they were in the right. Not just one incident. One incident's not going to be enough. Sorry, I have to tilt my head to the side here. Now, it doesn't say the whole thing here, but what's funny is it says 590 views, the video that she's referring to, but in the same in the same exhibit, in the same evidence, is a disclaimer from Queen Bee. There's a disclaimer from Queen Bee saying Queen Bee only speaks on her opinions and adds commentary. These are not, I don't know what else it says, but I mean, that could be referenced at any point. There's clearly a disclaimer saying, hey, these are just my opinions. These are just my opinions. I'm not stating anything here as fact. She's already got a disclaimer where she can express her opinions on her channel. And in the same piece of evidence that she's trying to present to the court, it shows Queen Bee's fucking disclaimer. I love it, bro. This is fucking great. I mean, she's just showing all the views they got. And all it looks like is that she's a fucking hater because it has the disclaimer. So she's just pissed off at all the fucking views she's getting. Exhibit D. And I don't even know what all this is. Oh, okay. This is just the list. This is the official filing of those pieces of evidence is what this is. Like, so this is just her Karening here. This is the first video, Queen Bee, that I could find. She tells her that, God, Jesus Christ, can you spell grammar? For fuck's sake, it is a fucking legal document. For fuck's sake, can you please, just for the sake of just not driving everybody crazy. Lisa Oldham's, thank you. Here's what I don't see. A notary stamp that says filed with the date and signature of the person notarizing these docs. I think there's one at the top. I don't remember. But there might be. I don't know. But she absolutely filed it. Like, you could look it up. You could absolutely look it up through Knox County in Illinois. It's absolutely there. She absolutely filed this thing. The problem is that she has not served anybody with papers, to my knowledge. I don't know. Heels, has she served you with papers yet? Curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Talking about Betty's press pass and that it was purchased online. That's true though. That's absolutely true. She admitted that it was bought online. Queen Bee telling Lolani's brother Betty is threatening to harass and stab them, and Queen Bee had clips to send his email. Now, I'd have to see that for myself. A lot of this stuff, guys, I explained at the beginning of this, I don't follow most of Queen Bee's content. Oh, she has the wrong name, really? For you too? Really? Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my God. And as I was saying before, now that you're listening, you and Queen Bee are free to use any of my content if you need any of the stuff that I've covered. Feel free to use any content that I covered Betty with for a countersuit or whatever, just to defend yourself, even whatever the fuck. You publicly, I'm publicly stating that you have my permission to use any of my Bullhorn Betty content to better your case. See, a lot of this stuff, as I was saying, a lot of this stuff is stuff, I mean, on Queen Bee's channel that this is just a PDF file, so I can't click on these, and I don't have time, really, to go over all of this stuff. Maybe I'll do a part 2, and we'll go over that stuff. But, yeah, these are just a bunch of accusations, and this is slowly reminding me more and more of a personal legal situation that I was involved in, that where the person was yeah, this is just all of this stuff. Okay. Where the person was Yeah, let me, you know what? I'm just going to do a part 2 on this. Fuck it. The person that filed this evidence, they state that it's one thing and then show the evidence that they're showing, that they're submitting, and the evidence says that what they're saying it is not. It's not anything of what they're trying to describe it to be. So and Betty's giving me that vibe, y'all. Betty's giving me that vibe, y'all. I just think it's really funny. Like, this is what it says. So, but look, and then it doesn't say that at all. Like, not even a little bit. Okay. It's just very, very interesting to me that she believes that this stuff holds any water at all. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Oh my God. Betty, you are killing me, man. Like, you've got to realize that when you're making these accusations. Why is my... Oh, okay. You got to realize that when you're making these accusations, Betty, you have to be able to prove them. And just saying that something is proof doesn't make it proof. It doesn't make it proof. You can't just say something is proof and then kind of wish it to mean what you want it to mean, and then it means that. That's not what the fuck happens ever in real life, in reality. It just doesn't happen. This sense of entitlement that you have is incredibly delusional. It is overwhelmingly delusional. And I'm here to tell you, man. I'm here to tell you.
You're entitled to shit.
You are entitled to shit. Oh man. But I just best of luck. Best of luck. This is just incredible that this just that you've gone this far. Oh, Hacka member for 8 months. What the fuck is that t-shirt? This is, I'm talking fucking nerd level 11. Okay? This is what this is. Nerd level 11. Okay? If you have ever been a true $6 Million Man fan, okay, this is the scan at the beginning credits that show his dope ass fucking optical thing put in his eye or whatever, his bionic eye. This is what that is. So, and I'm only giving it away because you just became a member for 8 months. Normally I'd be like, I want to see who can guess, but yeah, well, Bionic Woman didn't have a bionic eye. The Bionic Woman had a bionic ear. She could hear from far distances. Okay. Yeah, but this is totally like nerd level 11. And I'm not even a level 11 nerd. I was just crazy about $6 Million Man when I was a kid. And I love that shit. I hope they make like a movie remake of it it's like fucking rated R. And it's like, instead of him being an astronaut that crashed, I want him to be like a special forces dude. And he's just like ripping people's limbs off and beating them with them and just taking out whole just showing up to some remote jungle where some shit's going on, where they're like trafficking people, and then he just shows up and just starts fucking everybody up. That would be so much fun. So much more fun and interesting than an astronaut, that crashed. I mean, what do you expect an astronaut to do? I mean, I don't care how bionic he is. I mean, what do you expect an astronaut to do, bro? In crime fighting. Take you to space? What? So, anyways, guys, I am going to wrap this up. I love you guys very, very much. We're going to do a part 2 because I got to see more of this evidence. And I want to be able to look up the YouTube channels or the clips. I just got to go over that shit. Betty, you just continue to provide content. It's so much fun. I was a Bionic Woman fan too. I loved all that shit. All the spinoffs. Yeah, hell yeah. But guys, I love you very much. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the likes, all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.